I was worried about bears at first because I'm a pussy, and I was doing some research. It's very confusing because online it says, oh, if it's a brown bear, do one thing, but if it's a black bear, do the complete opposite. I'm like, that's fine, but how do I explain to the bear that I don't see color, you know? So I want to be like, I'm one of the good ones, bear. I'm on your side. I went back online. Turns out there's like a nursery rhyme for bears. I don't know if you've ever heard this. It goes, if it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back. I was like, I think they got that from LAPD, actually. That's where that came from. Oh, if it's a polar bear, you say, all lives matter, and he just lets you go. So it's a fun one to open on. Just really piss everyone off immediately. I love hiking. I hate camping, though, because I love, say it with me, indoor plumbing. That's right. Yeah. My butthole is an indoor cat. I wish it would lick itself. But I do appreciate nature in other ways. For example, you can tell by these jokes, I love smoking trees. And people say weed makes you stupid, and I would agree with that. I would also argue that's kind of the point. Don't get me wrong, being smart is great, but it's nice to take a break once in a while. Think about the dumbest people you know. I bet that they're happy. By the way, I said think, don't nudge and point. Hey, this one's about you. Pay attention. No, eyes up here. Stay focused. The dumb people are happy, right? I'm going to Google election results by zip code. He's going to throw a boulder at a beehive. That looks fun. Tell me I can get that for $6, auto-renew every time. The dumb people are happy, right? That's why we're all miserable. We have too much information. When I was a kid in school, they pulled a map down over the chalkboard and they go, there was a bunch of bad guys over there, but we killed them all. And long story short, that's why you don't have health insurance. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna run and throw a ball at Timmy's head. They're like, walk and throw a ball at Timmy's head. But now kids can just fact check their teacher, right? They'll be like, I feel like we're doing more harm than good over there, actually. I'm not voting for a president who does that anymore. No, fuck, they all do. All right, well, time to get a drug habit. Yeah, good choices we have this year. I'm an undecided voter. I'm waiting until November to see which one of these guys lives, and then I'm voting for the dead one. I think that's my plan. The best course of action. I've been avoiding a lot of political jokes this year just because when I write a good joke, I want to tell it for a while. And you're like, I don't know how long this guy's gonna make it. But also, it pisses crowds off, you know? Like, which is silly because it's like a comedy, you know? I always thought I'd win over like the Trump people by making fun of Biden first. And then when I made fun of Trump, they'd be like, hey, fair is fair. But they just got more mad. They're like, fuck you, you tricked us. Ugh. We thought you were on our side. I noticed like Democrats and Republicans, they both get mad at the president for the same stuff. It just depends on if it's their guy doing it. Like when JFK was president, he was banging movie stars and trying to start a war with Russia, you know. Oh, Democrats like, no, he's just a cool president. He's got amazing hair. You don't get it. Trump is president, he's banging movie stars. Close enough, and you know, he's trying to start a war with China, and Democrats want to throw him in jail. It's like, it's the same, you know. I think Trump and JFK have a lot in common. Not enough, but you know, not. See, you can't even win. You just can't win. But yeah, I've been combining my passions recently. I've been doing drugs in the woods, which is a great time. Yeah. My friends worry about me. They're like, oh, you shouldn't go in the woods on drugs. It's the wilderness. It's unpredictable. What happens if you see a bear? I'm like, I appreciate the concern, but I don't think I can fight a bear sober either. So, you know. If anything, the drugs are keeping me safer, right? I'm running from the imaginary dragon before I even see the real bear, all right? But if a bear does eat me, I'll take solace knowing that I took one for the team, you know? And we were the last human that any bear eats. Because I am filled with so many drugs. You know? He's gonna tell all of his buddies, like, dude, those edibles are stronger than I thought. Holy shit. I had one human. I passed out for like 6 months. It was crazy. I slept through the entire winter. You know? It's a hibernation joke. I'll explain them tonight. Don't worry about it. My best friend loves hiking and he loves drugs, but he hates combining them, which is convenient because I get a driver and he's more of an angry stomper hiker. I don't know if you know the types. I'm Alice in Wonderland frolicking in the woods and he's like, fuck you, Dad. Oh, I'll show you who's a man. And if you run into that guy in the woods, he's not gonna hurt you. Just don't get in between him and food. And sometimes I'm like annoyed. I'm like, I wish you were more fun to go on adventures with. Because it feels like I'm dragging a 4th grader on a field trip, right? I'm like, let's go to the science fair, little buddy. He's like, I don't wanna have fun. But then I look at it from his perspective. I'm the 4th grader in this scenario. He's the sober one. He's the only one tethered to reality, right? I'm rolling in the grass and eating pine cones. He's like, dude, we're still in the parking lot. Will you get your shit together? This is embarrassing. I am trying to get my shit together, you know? Because, you know. By the way, I did some jokes about drugs. I just want to be, you know, that's not my whole thing. Like, it's like a hometown show. I don't know. Some of you might know my parents. I don't need anybody reporting back. He's on drugs all the time. I am, but shut up about it, you know? It's like, no, it's not my whole thing. I like a little bit of, I was in LA recently doing some podcasts with Craig Ferguson, Christopher Titus, just some friends of mine, no big deal. But I also did this other one with this stoner guy, and it was just an awkward interview because the whole time he's like, dude, you ever smoke so much pot you can't move for 6 days? I was like, no, like, why would I do that? I have stuff to do. I'm not a guy who's like, let's get stoned and meet Jesus, you know? Like, I want to do enough drugs to meet SpongeBob. That's where my level is at, you know? I just want to be a little stoned all the time, like a program running in the back of Windows, you know? Just a warm hug I never got from my father, you know? Just... Yeah, the moderation is the spice of life, right? Like, you know, this show, not the best show you're ever gonna see, but it's pretty good, you know? You're gonna have a good time, you know? You guys are like, we'll see, it's early, you know? That fucking hibernation joke, don't pull that shit again, but... No, but I'm 39, I'm almost, like, I have friends that are like, dude, you gotta check out this app I use for dumbbells. I couldn't walk for a week. I'm like, I have to walk. Like, I have to do stuff later. Like, my only goal now when I go to the gym is just to not leave injured. Like, that's my... I wear a sweatshirt when I work out, and if I start sweating, I'm going too hard. Like, that's my... I just want a little bit of like, oh, we moved the limbs today, you know? I'm 39, you know, things change. I gotta embrace my age. When I was younger, when I was 20, I was like, I'm gonna party all night. Now I'm almost 40, I'm like, I can't leave the house, I had too much dairy. Like, things change, you know? When I was in my 20s, I was doing drugs before I even got out of bed. And I still am, but it's mostly Tylenol. Like, literally, oh yeah. 2 of those puppies, whew. I don't even feel my old high school football injuries. Okay, fine, I didn't play football in high school. You got me, Someone over there was like, psh. I was like, all right, doesn't need to be that aggressive with your dissent. Yeah, I'll have you know, I was on the chess team, okay? And the football players would tackle us. So I feel like that counts as like a football injury. It wasn't that bad though. I didn't mind getting shoved into their locker as much because there was plenty of room without the books, you know, but, okay. Do you need help with the joke? All right, I felt like it was like a satellite delay where it was like, these people got it, and then you were like, oh. Did you beat me up in school? All right. Yeah, I was in a chess club in high school. I was actually really good at chess in high school, and then I discovered sex. In college. Okay, fine, you guys got me. Living a lie up here. Just trying to get it together, you know? I just got out of rehab. Thank you for your support. You guys like, for pot, you pussy? No, it's not a real rehab. It's just what I nicknamed my parents' house, you know? Because, right, that's the only time I'm sober, like 5 days in a row. They know that I smoke pot and they don't care. They're just boring, so it'll be a waste of drugs. That's not true. They're cool people. I try not to smoke around my parents. My dad's been fighting esophageal cancer for a couple years, so yeah, it really harshes my buzz, you know? And I'm like, Dad, you want to hit this? And he's like, no, thank you. You know, you're like, oh, suit yourself, loser, you know? Yeah. It sucks. He got sick so young, too. You know, he's only 68. Like, he's not even old enough to run for president yet. Like, he had his whole life ahead of him. I stuck another one in there, yeah. I noticed that whenever I tell people my dad has cancer, if it's a young person, they always go, oh, I'm so sorry. And if it's an old person, they always go, what were his symptoms? Which is fun, you know, because young people are like, I'm gonna live forever. And old people are like, I'm gonna die tomorrow. And people in their 40s are like, do you think this beam will hold? And, not for everybody. We having fun yet? Yeah. But it sucks having a sick parent, you know, because it's a real role reversal from when I was a kid, because, you know, now I have to take care of him, right? He used to have to sit me down when I was a kid, be like, don't get in the van, the guy doesn't have candy. And now, every time I talk to him, I'm like, don't give out your social security number over the phone. You didn't win a contest, okay? That's my money soon, I need it. I'm in Tacoma, it's not going well. It's going fine. My dad's Bob Rivers, if anyone knows the name. Yeah, okay, cool, couple people. The rest of you have some fucking homework to do. Don't Google it in the middle of the show. This guy's funnier than him. Yeah. He's actually, he recently got inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame, which is a pretty cool sentence, yeah, that won't be around much longer, yeah. Half of you guys are clapping, like, they have a Radio Hall of Fame? Like, yeah. I can't imagine trying to explain to my kids someday, like, your grandpa used to be famous, wow, how many TikTok followers did he have? Like, actually, he's in the Radio Hall of Fame, wow. What's a radio? Yeah. It's like TikTok, but longer videos. It was before my time. They had 5-second videos when you were a kid, even longer. What's cool about being raised by a comedian, though, is that we learn to deal with our trauma with humor, which is not that effective, but it's a lot of fun. Recently, we were getting the family together for Christmas, and we were flying Southwest Airlines, which doesn't do assigned seating. Now, my dad is in the Radio Hall of Fame. Because of the cancer, he walks like he's in the NFL Hall of Fame. You know? Or the Chess Hall of Fame, both very violent sports in my experience. And so, you know, he has a cane that he pretends he doesn't need. And then just for long walks, like the airport, we get him a wheelchair because it's faster. And we're wheeling him up to the gate, and they announce over the intercom, like, hey, old people and people with dumb babies, you're allowed to board first, you know? And so I turned to my dad, like, I think both of those apply to you. Like, let's get going. But he's not in the wheelchair next to me. He's in line with all the normal people. I go, what are you doing? And he goes, shh, don't tell them I'm disabled or they won't let me sit in the exit row. I'm like, you have to be able to lift 50 pounds. I mean, I know it's a Boeing and the door will probably just fly off on its own, but just to be safe, you know? Finally, he relents. We're walking down the jetway and he's bitching at me the whole time, you know? He's like, I don't even need a wheelchair. I'm totally fine. You're stop babying me. And then he trips. Which is amazing comedic timing, right? He's in the middle of bitching about how he's not disabled, and then he just eats shit. We just gotta be like having a heart attack and asking the ambulance to hit the drive-thru. Like, this is fine, just give me a number 2, you know? I'm feeling like an asshole. I'm like, I should have been walking next to him. I should have been prepared. Oh my God. I'm helping him off the ground. I'm like, are you okay? he looks at me and he goes, you know, the best part about falling sideways is your head hits last. I'm like, all right, it's time for you to go into concussion protocol. I think that's the end of your night. Everyone around us is freaking, they're horrified. I'm like, he was like that before he fell. Don't blame the fall. My parents just moved to Las Vegas, Nevada from Vermont, which is a big culture shock. Yeah, it's like getting out of a time machine. And, because my dad was on the radio in Seattle for 25 years, and then he retired. He just wanted to get away from everything, so he moved to the middle of the woods in Vermont, and he picked up maple syrup as a hobby. I'm gonna watch the trees bleed, but then he got sick, and he realized, like, I should be close to hospitals and electricity, and so they chose Vegas. I didn't think of Vegas as, like, a hospital town. I mean, for sure, if I had a rash, I'd be like, there's a specialist I need to go see, you know, but... You've Googled the same doctor. All right, and... But I guess it's hard to find a good cancer doctor. I mean, it makes sense. You don't want the guy who's, like, too available. Yeah, just had a cancellation tomorrow. Come on in. Like, I'm gonna keep looking. A little dark on the cancer jokes? All right, well... Get ready for 20 more minutes. My dad told me of all the things in Vegas he's most excited about is chain restaurants. Because they didn't have any fast food within 2 hours of their house in Vermont. Literally, he calls me up once a week like, have you heard of this place, Applebee's? It's fucking incredible. I'm like, all right, well, welcome to the 90s, Dad. And but he told me he's got a new restaurant picked out he's saving for a special occasion. It's called Twin Peaks. Waiting for the regulars to expose them. It's a lot of people. Yeah, all right. If you're not familiar, which it sounds like, do you guys just come from there? It's, I think the official term is restaurant, right? Like that's the, it's like Hooters, but with better colors. Who thought orange was sexy? And, I was trying to figure out, like, why did he pick this restaurant? Here's what happened. We grew up in North Bend, Washington. And there's a TV show called Twin Peaks that filmed, and he thinks that they're related somehow. And I tried to explain, like, why do you think there'd be a North Bend, Washington-themed restaurant in Las Vegas, Nevada? And he was like, well, the Eiffel Tower is here. That's not for Vegas either. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let him have a good anniversary. You know, like, what's the worst that happens? He accidentally spices up his marriage. And Vegas is cool, though, because there's always cool things going on, you know, comedy shows, concerts, strip clubs, lots of father-son bonding activities, you know. My dad took me to a Bruce Springsteen concert, which was amazing. Not normally my cup of tea musically, but my dad shared his edibles, so... Yeah, that made the music taste way better. And it's really funny because my dad was sober for 40 years before he got sick. And then, you know, so he feels like a little guilty about like a weed gummy once a week, you know? Like we found a bag of edibles in his car and he got super defensive. He's like, no, they're prescription, shut up. Oh, it's for my nausea. We're like, okay, who's your doctor? Dr. Dre? Like, it's fine. Also, I'm not trying to judge you. I'm trying to bond with you. Like, we finally have hobbies in common. Let's talk about it, right? Do you have a brand you can recommend? Do you want to try anything else, you know? Hey, Dad, I got this bag of mushrooms. You're about to meet God. Don't you want to call him first, right? Just feel out the vibes. Reserve a room. Bruce Springsteen, that was an amazing concert. I don't know if you ever, where are those 70-year-olds running for president? Holy shit. That guy did 3 hours of just music, and it was like a religious, my favorite part, too, is that old people don't stand at concerts. I mean, they'll give it a song or two when the hits come on, but those old fucks can't keep it up all night anymore, you know? Like, oh, this song reminds me of my childhood. Oh, my knees remind me of my adulthood, you know? They're also enjoying the show, you know, make fun of them all you want, but they're not watching it through a little 3-inch screen on their phone, you know. They're holding up their iPad. And I did see one guy recording on a flip phone. I was like, I want the drugs that he's on. That looks like a lot of fun. After the show, the line for the Uber was like an hour-long wait. And so we tried to kill some time. We found a Baskin-Robbins nearby. I ordered a gigantic bowl of diabetes. And my dad starts making fun of me. He's like, oh, someone's hungry. I'm like, shut up, it's a side effect of my nausea medication. Two can play at this game, you know. The other fun thing we just did, I don't know if you've heard the Grateful Dead concert at the Sphere. That was fucking amazing. And I don't know where you get the awards for Son of the Year. I'd like to just turn in my application. I went to the Grateful Dead sober for my dad. That's right. Because he can't walk. But I wanted to make sure, because he was going to get stoned. And I wanted him, he has the eye droppers. I call them the pop drops. You just put them under your tongue. And so he gets stoned in the Uber. But I should mention the only reason I went sober, it was an accident. They sell mushroom gummies in the gas stations in Las Vegas. And I know you're probably like, how the hell did they get away with that? They don't work. So, it's pretty, which is funny, right? Because it's like, boy, I'm used to getting my drugs from behind the gas station. Now they're selling them inside. I should have known. I wouldn't trust a hot dog from the gas station, but I'm like, drugs, let's try it, I should have fucking eaten the hot dogs. I would have hallucinated for sure, but... So true. All right, that's fun. How much time we got? Oh, okay, killing it. Family's great, My brother has 2 kids, so I try to go visit all the time. I still remember the day he told me I was gonna be an uncle, because he came downstairs after work. He was like, we're having a baby, and we need you to move out. And I was like, this is bullshit, But the kids are great. He's got a beautiful 6-year-old angel baby girl and a 9-year-old cunt. And yeah, he's a boy, but he is a cunt. And it's such a great age, though, 6 and 9, because now they're human. They're adults. They can walk and talk and get me stuff from the fridge. But you do have to be careful. They're smarter than you think at that age. Like, I had an incident. I'm allowed near schools. It's fine. Here's the problem. Whenever I fly, I try to bring a full-size pillow on the plane. And I'm sure TSA thinks it's weird and flight attendants make fun of me. I don't really care. I just smoke a bunch of pot. I get a window seat. And then I wake up in a new city, I'm like, oh, I time traveled. This is amazing. But recently I was visiting my brother, and his 6-year-old comes running up to me. She's like, you forgot your pillow here last time. I go, oh, how did you remember that it was my pillow? She goes, it smells like you. And I was like, oh, shit. She doesn't know it yet, but, in 10 years she's going to be at Coachella like, hey, this concert smells like my uncle. Oh, someone's burning rope over here. He's sending the kids to private school in California, though, so probably filling their head with all sorts of liberal propaganda, like history books and all gender bathrooms. Oh, no. Yeah, I never got the restroom controversy. It's never been a sexual place in my mind. I've never been in a bathroom like, I'm pretty horny right now, If a senator tapped my foot, I'd be down, like, I'm just never horny in a every time I'm in a bathroom, it's an emergency. Like, I'm not trying to make friends. I'm pretending to wash my hands and getting the fuck out like anybody else, I'm just sitting there. Oh, you want to fuck? Hell yeah, dude, I just made room. You can slide right in. That sounds dope. Like, yeah. The kids are not fucking they're in there forever because we raised them on square pizza and chocolate milk. It's gonna take a minute. The only people that get that joke are still in line for the bathroom, but anyway. Nothing like 10 days with your brother's kids, though, to really remind you, why you push away anyone who's ever loved you. Oh, don't want that to happen on accident. Oh. Yeah, cool. It's going well for me. Thanks. Just went through a breakup recently. Don't worry, I'm gonna get her back with these jokes. It was a real surprise breakup. I didn't see it coming at all. I was always trying to keep things spicy in the bedroom, so we always played a game that was her favorite. It's called Sexy Librarian, which is where I'm not allowed to talk and she reads a book instead. I never got to be librarian. Let's switch it up once in a while. We had a lot of communication issues, I realized. She was always trying to hint things to me during the relationship, and I'm an idiot, you know? One morning she was like, I had a dream last night that you started working out. You got super ripped. It was so sexy. I'm like, oh, I had a dream that you accepted me for who I was, you know? But that's, oh, I won the battle, but I lost the girl. After we broke up, though, I was replaced by a dog, which is refreshing to know the relationship wasn't my fault after all. She just needed someone who would obey her commands. I know you guys can't laugh. You're like, she's right there. I'll blink at you. This is cool. We're still friends, you know. I got to meet the dog the other day, actually. It was pretty fun. I was like, oh, I wonder if he knows any tricks. I go, hey, boy, speak. The dog was like, help me. I was like, yeah, I get it, you know. You think you're on a leash, buddy? Oh, wait till she breaks out the shock collar, you know. Kinky. I don't know. I just, I like being alone is counterproductive to meeting people, you know, because I know it's not good for me. I keep getting sponsored articles in my newsfeed that's like, loneliness kills men faster than smoking. I'm like, shit, I'm doing both. This isn't good, you know. But trying to get out there. I'm done dating younger women. I'm 39 years old, so most young women have been done dating me for a long time, but just announcing a policy change. 23-year-olds, you're so hot, but I can't even read the font on your Instagram story, so get out of town. Go have a good life. I'll circle back when I'm 50 and rich. That seems to be a more appropriate timeline. I'm 39, that's not old, but I'm not a young man anymore, right? It's time to date a woman who can recognize the signs of a stroke. Yeah, my priorities have shifted. Everyone else on dating apps like, do you have any pets? LOL, what's your sign? I'm like, do you know CPR? This is important. I was dating this 25-year-old, and I get tricked because you look at him and you're like, oh, the face is in the original spot. That's so sexy, you know? And then you talk to him and you're like, I don't like that part of it, you know? I don't know. I don't even know if dating is the right term. What do the people call it now? Situationship, right? That's where we both like each other, but she's holding out for a better offer. You know? She's like, comedian? No, I was hoping for rapper. Can I go again? I don't know why we date like this. It's so stupid. Nobody picks anybody anymore. They'll get 50 prospects and whittle them down like a March Madness bracket or a reality show. It's like, you're not the Bachelor, bitch. Settle for me. Because I get my feelings hurt, right? I'll get invested. I'll flirt with a girl for like 3 months, and then she'll just post a picture of her new boyfriend on Instagram. I'm like, what the hell? I did all the work for him, you know? Like, it's like when you hand someone a pickle jar and they just open it immediately. You're like, oh, I loosened it for you. Oh, come on. I would have got it, but she wouldn't let me bang it on the counter. Like, that's the problem. Just confusing reactions. Oh, I wish someone would bang me on the counter. Okay. Okay. That's probably stay quiet. That's a good idea. You don't want this mess. Then I'm gonna write a joke about you. How do you fucking yeah. That's the thing too. It's tough as like a comedian. Girls hate it when you write a joke about them. Like everything's funny till it's about you, apparently. And so like sometimes like when she'll like catch me making notes in my phone. She's like, what is that? Is that a joke? I'm like, it's baby names. Don't worry about it. You know. But yeah, 25. It's tough. It's a tough age gap. You know, just because you have nothing to talk about. You have nothing to relate to. She's 25. She's never seen The Hangover or had a hangover, you know? She'd be like, take a shot with me. I'm like, it's 11 a.m., bitch. This is gonna fuck up my week. You have no idea. And she's from Idaho, so on top of not knowing anything, she's never been taught anything also. So like, I thought that was a joke until I talked to her, and then, not like that, like she's very smart. She's gonna be a lawyer, I think, or whatever, but what laws in Idaho? But yeah, she was telling me about her school, and the Idaho school system is basically the Truman Show. They're just like, all you need to know is Jesus is north, eat your potato, you know, but it's tough, you know? How do you find the one? That's what I want to know. Like, how do you know when someone's the one, you know? Like, because the apps don't give you the right information. Everyone's on these dating apps, and I feel like it doesn't give you the information to make the relationship successful. Because dating is finding someone whose mental illness matches up with yours, right? That's why I think there should be a dating app where you list the worst quality about yourself, and you have the algorithm match you like that, right? It's like, oh, I have abandonment issues, and all my exes tell me I'm too clingy. All right, perfect match, you know, this is gonna work. Oh, I believe in astrology, and I listen to Joe Rogan. Oh, okay, you're both dumb, perfect, you know, that's good. You both believe dumb shit, so that's good, you know. Oh, I'm a broke comedian from Tacoma. I'm a rich horse girl with tons of money. Yes, this is gonna work, you know. I was dating this horse girl for a while. Oh, wow. People, yeah, tell me. People are really passionate about this. They like to yell out. And I'm curious, because when we first started dating, she was like, don't believe any of the horse girl stereotypes. And I was like, I don't know what they are. And then after 2 weeks, I was like, is it rich? Because I'm cool with that, you know? Your horse has a Hermes blanket. Like, I'm poking holes in our condoms, for sure. But, I'm not wearing a condom. Relax. And yeah. I really thought we had a chance, you know, because like she's got this passion. She like jumps horses at shows and stuff. I was like, oh, she knows what it's like to work extremely hard to be mediocre in an art form that no one cares about, you know? Like, oh, we have a lot in common. That's very, you guys are like, oh, mediocre, you wish. I'll just heckle myself. You guys don't worry about it. You can't do worse than my inner monologue. But, yeah. I don't know. She was great, though. She's been previously married, so she's a rescue. And, have you tried dating as an adult? It is exactly like going to the pound, okay? I'm not saying that they're bad dogs, but there's a reason they're in there. Somebody hurt them. Just walking down that aisle of sadness, trying to pick one out. In the arms of the angel. Some of them wag their tail at anybody that walks by. Pick me, I'll lick your face, take me home. Ah. Some of them are more nervous, like, I don't know, let me smell your fingers first, you know? I'm the one shivering in the corner, like, I don't deserve love. Oh. Don't get close, I'm gonna pee. I found out that her last husband actually killed himself, though. Yeah, which is great news, because that means I'm her type. You know, like it's gonna work out. Oh, I know it's a dark joke, but hang in there. It's worth it. We're gonna tie the knot soon. New favorite audience member right there. Yeah, that's good. He just heard killed himself. He's like, this is gonna be great. I love every part of this. I'm already laughing at the setup. The rest of you are like, this guy needs therapy. Did we come to a comedy show or a cry for help? Fucking both. Pay attention. I actually got over my last breakup with the help of a therapist, but it was a massage therapist, which is weird. Not like that. That would have been much less awkward than what actually happened. I don't know what your typical massage expectations are like. I'm hoping to just get naked, never talk to you again, like a Tinder date, you know. But she got real touchy-feely with my actual feelings. I didn't appreciate it. she was asking me all these personal questions. She's like, "Are you single?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Why?" I was like, "Oh." "Did she send you?" Like, what's going on? What are you guys splitting my deductible? What's with this line of questioning? You know? Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I walked into the wrong building or I accidentally circled deep issue massage. But I'm trying to relax, you know? She's going, "Tell me where the pain is." I'm like, "On the inside," you know? But every time I try to avoid the question, she just digs her knuckle into my thigh. Like a prisoner in Guantanamo Bay, you know? She's like, "How come things didn't work out?" I'm like, "Oh, people change, people grow. Time heals all wounds." And then she fucking elbow drops me. I'm like, "I didn't appreciate her enough. I'm so sorry. I ignored her phone calls until she acted crazy and I blamed it on her." Yeah, when I left that massage office, it felt just like regular therapy. I was crying. I called my dad to apologize. I had a bill for $800. You know. That's when I realized sometimes it's not the happy ending you wanted, but it's the happy ending you needed. Thank you. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. You guys are fun. This next joke is very personal and probably more than you wanted at a comedy show, eating a cheeseburger, but it's fine. It's a good joke. You should laugh at it. I just tell you up front, so like, if you see me in the airport, we don't have to talk about it. You know, it's cool to be like, "Good show," and the other thing, you know, so. The first time I ever had sex, I got chlamydia. Yeah, which is pretty impressive. It was the first time I had sex. I wasn't in there very long. What was it, just hiding in her bushes? I gotcha. It's also very traumatizing because it was the first time I had sex. I was like, I thought this was a happy place. So for a long time after that, and still sometimes to this day, whenever I'm having sex, I get like Vietnam flashbacks. You know, I got a lot of STD, if you will, and so like the whole time I'm having sex, I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this. This is such a bad idea. I can feel the AIDS entering my body, and it turns out that is not great dirty talk, you know? A traumatizing experience. Imagine you got on a roller coaster and it lasted 3 minutes, and then after 2 weeks later, your dick was on fire, you know? You'd be like, next time someone was like, "Hey, you want to take a ride?" You'd be like, "I got a couple questions first. Is this ride just for me? Is everybody getting on? Because I see Six Flags and they're all red, so." Yeah, okay. That's the one you like? All right. Everyone has their favorite, yeah, Six Flags. Big roller coaster guy. Just love being around 12-year-olds. All right. Big fan of Drake. Yeah, well, no one else did. That was the problem. He's like, "I got a joke finally." Yeah, well, I'll write down the rest of them. Fun. All right, well, you know, it's good to be here. You know, Kelly, give it up for Kelly one time. It was super good, super funny. She's from Ohio. Can you believe that shit? She came to visit, you know, a couple months ago, and I live in Seattle, so I was trying to play tour guide. I was like, "Oh, check out the mountains and the waterfalls," and then I went to Cincinnati a couple weeks later, so she was like, "Let me return the favor. Check out our tire fire, you know. Want to see a pile of needles?" I'm like, "I'm from Seattle. We have that, you know. We have the needle. It's like the best one, you know." I was like, I do got to give you credit, though. The sunsets in the Midwest are unmatched. Just, I love the beautiful colors in the sky. She goes, "Actually, it's 1 p.m. That orange glows from the toxic chemical fire across town." I'm like, shit. I don't know if you guys have heard, Ohio, they're going through it. They had a train full of toxic chemicals flip and spill everywhere, and then they cleaned it all up, and then they put it in a truck to take it somewhere safe, and then that truck flipped the fuck over. I'm like, who's in charge of your nuclear plant? Homer Simpson? Like, what is going on? Ohio is proof that superheroes are not real, okay? Every 2 weeks they're dumping toxic sludge in the drinking water. I have yet to see a Ninja Turtle anywhere. I did see a lot of snapping humans, but we have those in Tacoma too, you know? She kept trying to convince me though. She's like, Ohio's amazing. We have the most astronauts of any state. I was like, that's how you know your state sucks. You're bragging about how many people try to leave, you know? But I was curious. I was like, it's an interesting fact. Why does Ohio have the most astronauts? Here's what I found out. In June of 1969, one of Ohio's rivers was so polluted, it literally caught on fire. Oh my God. 1 month later, July of 1969, the first man landed on the moon. And Neil Armstrong is from Ohio. It sounds like he was looking at water on fire. And then he saw the moon. He was like, can't be worse, you know? It makes sense that people from Ohio become astronauts, you know? He's like, I've heard Jupiter's gravity can kill a man, but my depression is also crushing, so I'll take my chances in space. But then he gets up there, wow, what a beautiful planet. Oh, it's a gassy giant with rivers of lava, just like home. Oh. All right, I'll ease up on the Ohio jokes. I take it back. They did have one superhero, LeBron James, yeah? But he fucking left too, so, you know. Turns out everyone great from Ohio either goes to space or to Space Jam. Okay, that's fair. That one could have been a tweet. Follow me on Threads for more. I have some shirts for sale after the show. The first one, you know, just a joke about people with fake service dogs. Because my friend has a service dog, but it's a Chihuahua. And I was like, I don't think that counts, you know? She's like, no, it helps with my anxiety. I'm like, the dog shakes more than you do. Like, I think your service dog needs a service dog. It's just an emotional support t-shirt, right? If you're feeling sad, you don't have your service dog or your vape pen. You just pet this guy. And it lines up with your nipples. You're like, I feel so much better already. All my anxieties disappear. I need emotional support underwear, you know? He's got a bowl full of pills and the name tag says Xanax, so, you know, something for the kids to wear to school. And all the money goes to charity, by the way. Or Cinnamon, whoever's working. And I'll see you there. All right, yeah. This one, you know, we're so divided as a country. We just need to come together, you know? Just reach around the aisle, yes. If someone disagrees with you politically, give them a hand job. I bet that they'll change their mind. That's what I always say. If that ass is round, the earth can be flat. I'm cool with that, you know? It's an elephant jerking off a donkey, yeah. So, you know, buy that, wear it to Thanksgiving dinner, and Six Flags? Okay. It's not looking good for you, bro. I don't know. I'm gonna wear it around children. I love Disney. Are you guys married? Did he propose at Disneyland? Yeah. Close? School? What school? Like a school you belong to? Or you're just hanging around kids again? None of this is sounding... I'm gonna let you plead the fifth the rest of the show, but also buy Kelly's book that's, I think it's called No One Cares About You Kids or whatever, right? It's like, shut up, your dreams don't matter. You're not important.
You're small.
No, I know, that's the joke. It's sometimes you just gotta let a joke bomb, you know? You just gotta take that one in the... like Adam Sandler. Also, if you buy a shirt, I'll throw in a free beer koozie, $700 value. Has on my social media, Andrew J. Rivers, Instagram, YouTube, OnlyFans, and stuff. And then there's a joke on the other side, because I saw a bumper sticker one time say, cars are like wives. If it ain't yours, don't touch. And I was like, what a dumb sticker. So I just made these. They say, cars are like wives. I accidentally banged yours. And, oh. I left a note. Okay, calm down. Insurance is gonna cover it, right? 'Cause she was totaled. Am I right? Thank you guys very much. My name is Andrew Rivers. Enjoy the show.